In the darkest corners of history, a sinister obsession took hold. Fueled by a twisted ideology of Aryan supremacy, the Nazi regime embarked on a relentless quest for ancient mythical secrets. They believed that these hidden truths would validate their claims and solidify their power. Driven by a thirst for knowledge and a desire for domination, the Nazis dispatched expeditions to the far reaches of the globe, searching for artifacts, texts, and even lost civilizations that could bolster their twisted worldview. One of the most infamous Nazi expeditions was led by Heinrich Himmler, the head of the SS. Obsessed with the idea of an ancient Aryan homeland, Himmler believed that Tibet held the key to unlocking this lost civilization. In 1939, Himmler dispatched a secret expedition to Tibet, hoping to find evidence of Aryan origins and ancient wisdom. The expedition was shrouded in mystery, but it is believed that Himmler was seeking to establish contact with Tibetan lamas and learn about their spiritual teachings. Himmler's expedition was a daring and dangerous undertaking. The Tibetan plateau is a harsh and inhospitable environment, and the Nazi soldiers were ill-prepared for the extreme conditions. Despite these challenges, the expedition pressed on, driven by Himmler's unwavering belief in the importance of their mission. The expedition's findings remain largely unknown. Some historians speculate that Himmler may have been seeking to establish a Nazi base in Tibet, a remote and isolated region that could serve as a sanctuary for the Third Reich. Others believe that he was simply fascinated by Tibetan culture and spirituality, and that he hoped to use this knowledge to strengthen the Nazi regime. Whatever the true purpose of Himmler's expedition, it remains a dark and mysterious chapter in the history of the Third Reich. The expedition's legacy is one of intrigue and speculation, and it continues to fascinate historians and conspiracy theorists alike. While Himmler was focused on the far reaches of Asia, other Nazi expeditions were exploring ancient sites on other continents. One such expedition was sent to the ruins of Tiwanaku, a pre-Incan civilization located in Bolivia. The Nazis were drawn to Tiwanaku because of its enigmatic history and its impressive architecture. They believed that the site held secrets about the origins of the Aryan race and that it could provide evidence to support their claims of Aryan superiority. Led by German archaeologist Edmund Kiss, the expedition arrived in Bolivia in 1928. Kiss was a proponent of the world ice theory, a controversial hypothesis that suggested that the Earth had once been covered in ice and that advanced civilizations had existed before the Ice Age. Kiss and his team spent months exploring the ruins of Tiwanaku, measuring structures, examining artifacts, and searching for evidence of an Aryan connection. They claimed to have found evidence of Nordic features in the sculpture and architecture of the site, but their findings were widely dismissed by the scientific community. Despite the lack of scientific support, the Nazi regime embraced the idea of an Aryan connection to Tiwanaku. They saw the site as a symbol of their own racial superiority, and they used it to legitimize their claims to power. One of the most enduring legends of the Nazi era is the search for the Holy Grail. This mythical artifact, said to be the cup used by Jesus at the Last Supper, was believed by some to possess extraordinary powers. The Nazis were drawn to the legend of the Holy Grail because they believed that it could be used to strengthen the Third Reich. They saw the Grail as a symbol of Aryan purity and power, and they hoped that it could be used to unite the German people and inspire them to fight for their cause. SS leader Heinrich Himmler was particularly obsessed with the Holy Grail. He believed that the Grail was hidden somewhere in Germany, and he funded several expeditions to find it. Himmler even collaborated with Otto Rahn, a historian and occult enthusiast who shared his fascination with the Grail. Rahn conducted extensive research into the Grail legend, and he believed that he had identified its possible location in a secret underground chamber beneath a medieval castle in the Rhineland. With Himmler's support, Rahn led several expeditions to the castle, but they were ultimately unsuccessful. The search for the Holy Grail was a complex and often dangerous undertaking. The Nazis faced numerous challenges, including the secrecy surrounding the Grail legend, the difficulty of locating the rumored hiding place, and the opposition of local authorities. Himmler and Rahn employed a variety of methods in their search for the Grail. They consulted with historians, archaeologists, and occult experts. They conducted secret rituals and performed esoteric practices, hoping to summon the Grail or unlock its secrets. Despite their efforts, Himmler and Rahn were never able to find the Holy Grail. The Grail legend remains a mystery, and it is unclear whether it ever existed. Some historians believe that the Grail was simply a myth, while others speculate that it may have been lost or destroyed centuries ago. The Nazi search for the Holy Grail was a reflection of their broader obsession with ancient myths and occult symbolism. They believed that these legends could be used to legitimize their regime and to inspire their followers. However, the search for the Grail was ultimately a futile endeavor, and it serves as a reminder of the dangers of pursuing unattainable goals. The Nazis also conducted expeditions to the Middle East, a region rich in history and ancient civilizations. Again, they were drawn to this region because they believed it held secrets about the origins of the Aryan race. One of the most notable Nazi expeditions to the Middle East was led by Otto Rahn. Rahn was fascinated by the Dead Sea Scrolls, a collection of ancient Jewish texts discovered in a cave near the Dead Sea. Rahn believed that the Dead Sea Scrolls held secrets about the origins of the Aryan race and that they could be used to prove the superiority of Aryan culture. He conducted several expeditions to the Dead Sea region, searching for hidden chambers and secret passages that might contain additional scrolls. Rahn's obsession with the Dead Sea Scrolls was fueled by his belief in the Aryan connection to ancient Israel. He argued that the Israelites were descendants of Aryan tribes who had migrated to the Middle East thousands of years ago. Another Nazi expedition to the Middle East was sent to the Giza Plateau in Egypt. The Nazis were intrigued by the ancient Egyptian pyramids and believed that they held secrets about the origins of civilization. Led by Hermann Göring, the Nazi air marshal, the expedition explored the pyramids and searched for hidden chambers. They also conducted archaeological excavations, hoping to find evidence of an Aryan connection to ancient Egypt. Göring's interest in Egypt was partly motivated by his desire to establish a Nazi colony in the region. He believed that Egypt could serve as a strategic outpost for the Third Reich, and he hoped to exploit the country's natural resources. While the Nazi expeditions to the Middle East did not yield any significant discoveries, they did contribute to the growing Nazi obsession with ancient civilizations and their belief in Aryan superiority. The expeditions also helped to establish the Nazi presence in the region, which would have serious consequences for the Middle East in the years to come. The Nazis also conducted expeditions to Russia and Eastern Europe, regions that they saw as part of their historical homeland. They believed that these regions held clues about the origins of the Aryan race and that they could be used to justify their claims to territorial expansion. One of the most significant Nazi expeditions to Eastern Europe was sent to the Caucasus Mountains, a region that they believed to be the ancestral homeland of the Aryan race. The expedition was led by Heinrich Himmler, who hoped to find evidence of Aryan settlements and ancient Aryan artifacts. Himmler's expedition to the Caucasus was a daring and dangerous undertaking. The region is mountainous and remote, and the Nazi soldiers faced harsh weather conditions and the threat of attack from local partisans. Despite these challenges, the expedition pressed on, driven by Himmler's unwavering belief in the importance of their mission. The expedition's findings were disappointing. While the Nazis did discover evidence of ancient civilizations in the Caucasus, they were unable to find any concrete proof of an Aryan connection. Himmler was forced to admit that his dream of an Aryan homeland in the Caucasus was a fantasy. Another Nazi expedition was sent to the Carpathian Mountains, a region that was once part of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. The Nazis believed that the Carpathian Mountains were home to ancient Aryan tribes and that they could be used to justify their claim to the region. The expedition to the Carpathians was also unsuccessful. The Nazis found no evidence to support their claim that the region was an Aryan homeland. Instead, they discovered a complex and diverse cultural landscape that defied their simplistic racial theories. The expeditions to Russia and Eastern Europe were ultimately failures. They were unable to find the evidence they were seeking, and their attempts to impose their racial ideology on these regions were met with fierce resistance. The expeditions also contributed to the growing animosity between the Nazis and the Soviet Union, which would eventually lead to the devastating war that would engulf Europe. The Nazi obsession with ancient mythical secrets was a dark and disturbing chapter in history. Driven by a twisted ideology of Aryan supremacy, the Nazis journeyed on a relentless quest for knowledge and power, which was futile. The ancient secrets they sought remained hidden, and their obsession with the occult and the supernatural contributed significantly to their downfall. Please like and subscribe for more content like this. Thank you for watching.